Wow. Really just truly compelling music. That was With or Without You by U2. Probably one of the greatest musical pieces ever recorded in the history of time.
I mean, I can't speak for everybody else, but that's one of my favorite songs that's ever been composed.
I mean, everyone knows that U2 is the greatest band ever conceived, and probably the most important band in terms of spreading the liberal agenda. And with that being said,
They're also one of the only bands to put out an entire album for free on iTunes and sneak it into your collection without even telling you.
like a beautiful birthday surprise, U2
That was
just
the
gives
happiest
us
day of my life.
all of the most pleasant surprises
Thank
imaginable.
you too. Thank you, Bono.
What a genius. With that being said, this is 520 FM, the most liberal radio station on probably the face of the earth, maybe even in this galaxy.
Maybe in the universe.
I would not say there are many radio stations quite as liberal as our radio station.
We set the bar high.
Speaking of liberal news, despite my countless petitions to have Donald Trump taken out of the White House, Donald Trump is still in the White House, and I'm one day closer to killing myself. I don't really know how I survived this long, but everyone, please keep in mind that he will not divide us, and have a wonderful day.
I personally think that everyone who voted for Donald Trump should be charged with a hate crime, but that's just my opinion.
And these are all just our opinions, because this is 520 FM. It's a very liberal radio station where everyone's entitled to their own opinion and their own free speech.
Unless your opinion is fucking wrong.
Yes, and then we'll probably rape you. Anyways, this is Bono with the classic With or Without You. What the fuck am I doing?
Welcome to the immersive radio play that is DigiBros.
I hope someone is enjoying 520 FM.
The nega version of
quite a bit.
Scoops in the Bay.
Alright. What are we doing? We're playing Zelda.
With or without you.
Yes, we're playing U2, the game.
U2 the game. Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, we're getting right back into it.
I'm
it's
proud
not
of you.
fucking dilly-dally, silly Sally. Yeah. Let's get right into the next shit, Hub.
Yeah?
What's the next shit? It's not fuck around. What's the next guy? What's the next topic?
The next boy?
Fuck, shit. I fell.
Yeah, that was pretty good. You did.
Let's not fucking beat around the bush here.
Can we do anything but beat around the bush?
I don't know. I don't even know where the bush is.
That's a valid point.
How can you beat around the bush if you don't know where the bush is?
An excellent thought, honestly.
Hell yeah.
Well, Victor, I guess I wanted to wait until you were on board to talk about Poppy.
Oh no. Poppy. Alright.
So, Poppy is, for those of you that don't know, there is a channel on YouTube called That Poppy. It's a series of videos, but also music. It's like a blonde girl. She has this, like, you know, just kind of a creepy vibe kind of going.
Yeah.
She makes these extremely bizarre YouTube videos.
It's kind of a creepypasta.
She doesn't quite seem human. Does, like, weird kind of eccentric stuff. Talking about, you know, talking about feelings in a way that no human would talk about emotions or feelings.
Yes. The idea
staring
is that
blankly
she's
into
like,
the camera.
She's like a robot.
Yes. She's essentially the American version of Carrie Pamu and also a robot. And she's amazing.
It's very interesting.
It's the best, most fun pop music in the world since probably Carrie. And I've been enjoying that quite a bit recently.
I'm still a little bit on the fence with how amazing Poppy is.
I love Poppy.
Because I love the idea of Poppy, and I love the aesthetic of Poppy. And, like, the Carrie style videos, and, like, that general, like, direction it goes in. And I love the creepy YouTube channel tie-in.
Her very bizarre
Yeah.
YouTube channel. Definitely check out her YouTube channel and, like, watch some of her videos before you listen to her music, so you kind of get what the performance is about.
But then it's another thing where I wonder, like, it is the character of Poppy, and I wonder how much of that, like, is this girl making her music, and how much is just, like, some dude in the background came up with all of this and is orchestrating it, and she's just, like, the actress of it all, you know? Because there's no real way of knowing. And it seems like there is definitely, like, the guy who makes the music, as opposed to her doing it all. So, like, there is a bit of, like, you have to buy into the sort of, what's the wrestling word? The kayfabe. Yeah, you gotta buy into the kayfabe of trusting that this is a girl making her own music and, like, coming up with this idea.
And
you know?
also the meta narrative is that, like, Poppy isn't writing the music. It's the music company controlling her and forcing her to sing these pop songs.
So narratively, she is not really doing it. But then, like, I'm curious as to how much the actress of Poppy is involved with the ideas of Poppy, you know? Or if it's like, is there a team behind Poppy? Is there, like, creating that idea?
There's a team, but she was making those videos so far in the past from when she actually got signed on to a label that I don't think it's a label thing.
I don't think it's a label thing, but I think it's still a team. Because from the beginning, it seems like she's been shooting those in a studio with, like, a legit lighting and camera setup and good audio, you know? It's not like someone recording it on a cell phone, like starting a YouTube channel.
Well, yeah, but just because she has a team she's working with doesn't
more
mean
people involved than
not,
it's just, like,
you know,
random people starting a YouTube channel. Like, they know what they're doing. So I'm curious as to, like, the process behind it. I wonder, you know? Oh god, I gotta give them $1,000? God damn it. I don't have 1,000 rupees, dude. Eat shit. I just want to show you how cool this fairy lady looks, because she's all spooky looking.
She likes horses. Of course she's spooky looking.
Yeah, she's super spooky. She has, like, a spooky face. I guess we can't do it yet because we don't have $1,000.
Sorry, horses ain't free.
Fuck. Horses is
just like
free.
In real life, horses in Legend of Zelda are too goddamn expensive.
It costs colts like you and me. It's a pony song.
Dope.
Anyways, but yeah, Poppy's interesting. The video that sold me the most is that she has this cover of My Kind of Woman by Mac DeMarco, where it's like, it's just a long video of, like, just showing her singing the song. And it's super interesting because, like, somehow they made the song even more lo-fi and spooky, and her voice is, like, super spooky on it, and it sounds really cool. And then, like, it's just kind of, like, eerie, just, like, watching this girl.
It's very atmospheric.
And, yeah, it's super atmospheric. It's super, like, pastel and washed out and, like, interesting looking. It's, like, a kind of a perfect music video for what that song feels like. And then just, like, watching her, like, the range of emotion and the certain feeling that it gives off is, like, perfect performance on her part in terms of, like, selling this certain emotion and aesthetic. So I was like, man, all right, she knows what she's doing, and this is pretty cool. So that sold me on the video aspect, and they're pretty interesting, fun stuff.
Her videos are a lot of fun. If nothing else, you can have a good time watching them, and they have a really good aesthetic to them that's really super neat. Of course, it's more my aesthetic than Victor's, but
I mean, the aesthetic I love. Like, I don't have a problem with the aesthetic. But then,
I just mean the overall, like,
yeah.
the poppiness and the, you know, extreme girliness of it isn't quite so much up your alley.
I don't know.
Because it's girly music. You don't normally like girly music.
But it's not the girly aspect of the music that turns me off of it. Because there's some of the songs that I really like. And, like, the more computery songs are pretty cool. And when it gets, like, more experimental. But then some of the songs are just kind of like normal pop songs, which is appreciate.
I think part of the
But, like, And I appreciate it a lot narratively, because it makes sense that Poppy would be making normal pop songs, because that's what she's created for. From a narrative standpoint,
Right.
she is created to make pop
She's a
music.
robot
So it
created to
makes
make
sense
pop songs.
that she would make songs that sound like Katy Perry or something, because that's the point. You know, narratively, that is the point. So it makes more sense for her to make those songs than the other songs that sound spooky, because then it sounds like they're playing into, like, the aesthetic that they've created, which doesn't necessarily match what the purpose of her narratively was created to do. She was not narratively created to make spooky sounding music. She was created to make generic pop music, because she's a robot. That's the point, you know? So, like, I like that they do that narratively, but then, like, when I'm watching it with the videos, I think it's really cool. Like,
Yeah.
it all comes together,
The
because
videos tie them
it's
together,
it's
for
a
sure.
multimedia thing. Like, it has to have the videos and the story for a complete experience. And then when we're listening to the album, like, in the car, then with some of the more typical pop songs, I'm just kind of like, yeah, well, I wouldn't listen to this otherwise, you know? Like, just because I know the aesthetic is there, like, doesn't make me enjoy it more separated from the aesthetic. Like, I think the aesthetic certainly has to do with the enjoyment of it, and when it's not in front of me, I don't enjoy it as much, you know?
I think even for me, just knowing what the intentions are and knowing the character of Poppy, I can get really into the music even if I'm not watching the videos.
Which I know you can, and I figured that's a lot of your enjoyment of it, is because you're able to enjoy the ideas of something, where to me it's just like, well, when I don't have the video in front of me and stuff, and I'm just listening to the music, like, this is kind of not dense enough of a pop song for me to really care about it, you know? It's like, I love the idea of Poppy, and I like some of the songs I still enjoyed a lot, but then the other songs I was just kind of like, you know what, this is pretty hit and miss for me, like, without the whole multimedia experience attached to it.
Yeah. I guess it just comes down to how sold you are on the character and how attached you are to it, which I would say I'm very much sold.
Yeah.
So it's easy for me to enjoy that in all of its forms. It's great. It's really good music for running.
It probably is. Running would probably be a better spot. And if I heard it more than once, you know, because we're listening to the car, it's like my first time hearing most of the songs, like, without anything attached to it. So I'm kind of, like, analyzing and thinking about stuff.
That's actually really interesting, because I remember the first time I listened to that album, I hadn't seen a lot of the videos. I'd seen, like, probably 3 or 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I had just downloaded the Bubble Bath EP and Poppy Computer, and I just started playing it at the gym while I was running, and I basically immediately had all of the songs stuck in my head.
Nice.
Like, I could tell you all of the lyrics after one listen.
I can't do that with anything, so, you know, that's where we
That's
differ.
true.
But
But
it
that's
does,
how much it stuck with me.
It made me interested. I was thinking about the way that you think about certain art versus the way that I think about it. Because I take everything more at surface value of what it sounds like listening to it directly. And, like, I think you take a similar approach with, like, Tyler, the Creator, where I know that you really like the character of Tyler, the Creator, and the lyrics that he has. And that's a lot of why you enjoy his newest album.
Right, I like the narrative arc of
you've
that.
talked about it a lot, and you enjoy the narrative arc. And, like, I understand that to an extent, but to me, like, some of the songs are pretty good and cool, but then other songs for me are just, like, it's not, like, my kind of music, you know? And so it's, like, I can't look past the music for the character, I guess. Like, the character in the end is not enough for me to, like, enjoy music that I wouldn't normally enjoy. I don't know. Or maybe, and I also have a hard time listening to lyrics and, like, paying attention to them and comprehending it.
I think that's part of it, is, like, you're not a big lyrics boy.
Exactly.
And
So I'm not paying attention to any of the lyrics.
Very into lyrics.
Like,
I'm always listening to what a song is saying.
I'm just listening to the instrumentality. And,
you
like,
pick up a lot more in the subtleties of the instrumentality, whereas I think I pick up a lot more on what the narrative or what the artist is trying to, like, actually say.
It's just different ways we consume music. And that's how I've always consumed music. So I come from a background of metal music where you can't understand the lyrics.
Right.
And so I'm not used to listening to lyrics. Like, it's
and
very
that's why
rare.
I can't get into that, because I don't know what they're saying, so I'm not invested at all.
Exactly.
I don't know
It's
anything about
completely
you.
different ways that we listen to music. You listen to it more as a narrative and like almost as a story thing, sort of like an anime or a manga where there's a narrative and there's a voice and there's lyrics.
Right.
Like,
I want to
I'm
create
just listening
like
to instrumentality and sort of, but I also listen to the narrative, of the emotion of the sound is important to me, which is why I like the concept albums like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard stuff, because like there is a story, it's just not in the words. In sometimes it is like there one album where it's all about Polygon Land, where it's like that is a narrative of that, and I've tried to piece it together, but I'm not good at understanding lyrics, so I don't really know what it is. But there's also a clear narrative in the music itself, where like there are rises and falls and builds, and like you can kind of like drift off with like what you picture the story to be in your head. You know, the imagery of the sound is really interesting, and that's what I tend to enjoy most about music, is like being immersed in the imagery of the sound.
Yeah, I think you are more easily sold on the the imagery the sound creates,
Yeah.
whereas I'm more likely to like something when I like the personality of the
Yeah.
creator and I'm on board with what they're trying to project.
And I can understand that, because like Kendrick Lamar, you know, the classic story for everyone who is a fucking hip hop casual who, you know, first listens to Good Kid, Mad City singles, and they don't get it. They're like, oh, this is just hip hop music. But then you're told the story, and it's like, okay, now that I see it in the greater context of the story of this album, I appreciate what he's going for on all these tracks, because I'm white and I don't understand. And so that then becomes a masterpiece when you're given greater context. And so like I get that the context of the artist, especially in hip hop, because hip hop usually has the most personality.
Right.
Like it makes a lot of sense. But I don't get it in most music, and then, like, for certain stuff, it's just, like, you know, Tyler, the Creator's stuff, like, it's not bad, but it's very sparse. Like, there's not a lot of sounds going on, it's not very dense music, and I tend to like stuff with a lot going on.
Yeah, you tend
know?
to like very dense things.
I like lots of different sounds and layers and stuff, and Kendrick gives you that a lot more. Earl Sweatshirt gives you more of that, and Tyler, the Creator's just a little more like simple and to the point, which is not a inherently bad thing. It's just like sometimes I get bored. It's harder for me to like pay attention all the time.
It's hard for Victor to pay attention.
Yes.
But yeah, totally sold on that Poppy. Been really into that. I think seeing her live would be fucking awesome, but probably won't get to do
It would
that.
be pretty
anytime
neat.
soon.
Does she do live
Yeah,
performance?
she does.
Interesting.
But of course she's not coming anywhere near us.
Show.
I mean, I imagine it would be a lot like
Stat
seeing
Boy.
Carrie Pommy Pommy, you know?
Yeah.
Which was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, you went and saw Carrie.
I saw Carrie in New York.
See, Carrie is great. Like, I would not put Poppy on the level of Carrie.
I'm not saying they're the same
like,
thing.
Musically,
I'm just
for
saying
sure.
it would probably be a similar... Because you don't get shows like that in
No,
American
I think it would be
pop.
a great performance. But
So
now
it would be
I'm just
really
comparing
interesting
the
to see.
music. Yeah. It is cool that there is a Carrie of American pop, because Poppy's style is very much like Western pop music.
She has a song called Moshi Moshi. Like,
Well, Moshi Moshi is very
super,
much
very
like
inspired.
Carrie, but like the other songs I think are more like
Americanized, yeah.
Americanized sounding. But she still goes for the Carrie aesthetic, which is super cool.
Yeah, she has the outfits that very much are reminiscent of
Yeah.
Carrie's outfits.
I think Lady Gaga's Art Pop was another album where, like, kind of having some context about, like, what it's sort of, what the message is enhanced it a bit, you know? Because that's probably the only pop album that I've listened to extensively.
Yeah, you're
And,
not
like, really
you're not
enjoyed.
really a pop boy anyway.
Yeah.
And not that I'm normally, like, a pop person myself.
Mm.
I would say this is the exception.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's interesting. I do recommend checking it out if you haven't heard of Poppy. I think it seems like a lot of people have heard of Poppy, and that, like,
I
we were
mean,
kind of
she
late
was
to
in the
that
YouTube
game.
Rewind, so
Yeah.
clearly, you know,
And she's
people
got millions of
people
views
know.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
people have. She has a lot of subscribers. She has a lot of
Yeah.
views.
Antoine Fantoine talked about the album.
Yes. Fandango.
I certainly don't
Splendango.
mean to shit on a Poppy or anything. I
No.
think it's good stuff, and I think it's perfectly fine stuff to enjoy. Hope always. Whenever
Vic
I don't love something, you seem
Vic always
very,
shits on me for liking simple things.
I don't see. You always perceive it as shitting on you.
He's always
and it's
like,
not
I
shitting
like
on
stuff
you.
that has lots going on. I don't want to be bored.
You
and
make
I'm like,
it.
oh, okay.
You make it sound like that.
But
But that's not. I just have different tastes.
It's just not enough happening. It's just I'm bored.
But you see, you perceive that as like. Because I'm implying that my stuff has more going on, that I'm implying that it's somehow smarter or more interesting or better, but it's just a different taste. And it's a fact that there is more going on in a King Gizzard. Like, there are more layered tracks in Pon Pon Pod than there are in fucking Moshi Moshi, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's denser music. There is more going on. That is an objective fact. Like, the stuff I listen to tends to have more layers. Like, it's not...
Sounded pretty
I'm
pretentious
not
there, Victor.
but I'm not saying that makes it inherently better. I'm just saying that there is a fact.
I'm just saying that all my stuff has more things going on and is harder to digest.
Did I say it was harder to digest? You imply that I'm shitting on you. I'm not at all. Like, how would you describe the difference in the music?
I'm Victor. I only listen to the most sophisticated
So
music.
mean. And then you'll
Frog,
if you go on like that, I'm gonna be afraid to criticize anything that you enjoy. Cause I'll be like, oh, Hope's gonna think I'm fucking ripping on her just because I want to have an interesting discussion about why I don't enjoy Poppy as much as I do Carry Poppy Poppy, because there's just less going on in the instrumentality. But I don't want you to take that as an insult, so maybe I won't talk about it.
I'll show you instrumentality.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Human instrumentality project?
Yes, exactly.
I'm sorry.
Sorry that you have the most superior taste.
You're so mean. And she's both on the one hand kidding and also not kidding at all, because that's how women be.
Wow. Women can't live with them. Can't criticize their musical taste.
Their taste in music, or they'll think it's a personal attack against them. I'm sorry.
It's alright, Victor. I knew you wouldn't like Poppy as much as I do.
I appreciate what you like about it. I don't think it sucks.
I just said that you wouldn't like it as much as I do.
Yes, and I don't, and I'm sorry. You make me feel bad that I don't enjoy it as much as you do.
Because Hope likes girl music.
I think you're stupid. The girl music thing is a joke.
Girl music.
Now Victor feels terrible. If I can kill myself, then I won't enjoy any music.
You can't enjoy music if you're dead.
It's okay. I understand that you can't get into King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard all the time because it's dork music, you know? Like, that's dork music.
I listen to it in the car with you all the time.
Yeah, but I don't think you enjoy it most of the time.
I don't dislike it.
Exactly. You don't understand how I feel now, huh? I don't dislike Poppy. I'm just not in love with it. It's not making me fucking tear my ears out or I'd turn it off. Like, if there's a fucking... What's it called?
What is it?
What's that band?
What is it?
Oxford, comma...
Vampire Weekend?
If there's a Vampire Weekend song, I'll skip it.
That's because you're
like
faggot.
that's music that I like. If I don't enjoy it, I will skip it, you know? If I'm not in the mood for something, I'll skip it. I listened to all of Poppy because I was curious, you know? There's songs I might skip, there's songs I probably wouldn't skip. There are songs I enjoyed a lot. I'm allowed to have a varied taste, you know? There's that's the way of the world.
This week on Victor Feels Personally Attacked.
Wait! Yeah, I'm defending myself because you implied that I was personally attacking your taste in music.
Can I be personally attacking you when I'm giving you little kisses?
Yes. Because you wouldn't be giving little kisses if you didn't think Victor was tearing his brain apart trying to defend himself for not thinking that your music is shit. I hit this guy away. It's just like I'm not into all the music Conrad likes, you know? Some of the music Conrad likes, I'm just like, no. Like, not into it. Can't really get into Father John Misty. That's like Digi and May's favorite shit in the world. And I don't think you would get into it either, because it's
I've
boring.
listened to it when he's put it on the car. It's not for me.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's varying degrees of things. Like, me and Conrad's tastes have gotten pretty different. I think I'm a happy blend somewhere between you and Conrad in terms of taste.
I would say you're
There's
probably
a spectrum
a middle ground.
of you to Conrad where I don't think Conrad would like anything you listen to.
It's probably
and I don't
valid.
think you'd like most of what Conrad listens
That's
to.
probably valid too.
But I'm somewhere in the middle of having influence of both of you. Because I think you have influenced my musical taste and introduced me to things I wouldn't have liked before, you know? Through me getting into, like, Foster the People and stuff and appreciating that kind of music, I've broadened the kind of music I can enjoy, you know? I wouldn't have tried that stuff out before. Hope who will shit on me relentlessly, even though, like, I've had fucking Foster the People albums and stuff on my phone for excessive amounts of time and listened to it until I couldn't stand it anymore. Like, I appreciate the music. Foster the People's cool. They're pretty
Except their new
dense.
album
Like, they
is
get pretty fucking
garbage.
dense. Yeah, just their other albums are total shit.
Doing it for the money.
Same with, what's it called? Passion Pit.
Oh god, yeah. Anything
Yeah.
past their first album's pretty garbage.
They were like fucking solid ass first album, you know? Stuff that like God, Conrad could not get into that shit at all, and I was playing that all the time. You know, what's the other one?
It was Marcus that got me into Passion Pit, yo.
Yeah. Appropriate. But I can't get into Vampire Weekend. I can't get into Phoenix or whatever that is. Is that what it's called?
I like Phoenix relatively passively.
Yeah.
I mostly just because I liked it in high school and I just never bothered to take it off my phone.
Ah, shit.
Damn, get fucked.
These guys are tough. I'm getting my ass kicked, so I'm playing bad. This is one of the coolest this is like one of the closest things to a dungeon there is in the game. Even though it's just combat, but it's cool.
What is a dungeon but combat?
That is true. Alright, this has been, Victor tries to defend himself
I love you, Victor.
against not somehow Hope making Victor feel as though he has offended her.
No, I love Victor.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. I don't think your music is shitty. You just grew up with different tastes. I would never expect you to like Dragon Force, you know? You know, I don't care about Dragon Force anymore, but you know, at that time. Dork music, man. Rush. I don't play any Rush. I don't even try. You know. I've thought about like after you were memeing on me for having 10-minute songs, and I was like, I'll get Rush's 2112 on my phone and make you sit through that and see how much you like that music. I'm gonna go get fucking.
That would have just been a dick move.
No, I'm kidding.
That would have just been spiteful.
I don't really enjoy Rush much anymore. But no, I'm memeing. But there are some bigger, longer metal stuff that I don't think you would enjoy, and I don't put on my phone for
I just
that
don't
purpose.
like songs that are super long, man.
Yes.
Like, I normally listen to music when I'm either driving or at the gym, and I
Yeah.
want something that's, like, not gonna be on for fucking 15 minutes.
Yeah. Sometimes I understand that, and other times, like, I'm just jonesing for it, you know? Because, like, there's a certain, like, feeling to a long song where you can just kind of get lost in it and just, like, zone out and not really think about anything and just, like, groove with it. Or if I have to do, like, a long drive and, like, an hour-long King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard album is the perfect length, and I can just put it on and just be like, yes, this is great. Because it gives you enough time to, like, really immerse yourself in it, you know? Where like certain albums for sure, especially when they're concept albums, where it's like this is meant to be a continuous story. The best way to listen to it is all at once, because the emotion is continuing from one song to the next. Like it's meant to be a progression. So like if you take breaks in between songs, then you're not carrying over like the feeling of the last song into the next one. You're not getting the whole like the point of the journey. So, you know, certain albums are designed for that. It's cool when it's there. And sometimes 10-minute songs can be pretty dank. I do understand why you don't always want to listen to 10-minute songs, which is why I'll skip them sometimes. It's only usually if I let a 10-minute song play while you're in the car, it's either because I'm testing to see if you'll like it, or like I forgot and zoned out and didn't think to skip it.
It's probably normally
like,
because you zoned out.
Most of the time it's because I zoned out, because usually I'll tell you if I'm like, oh, this is the new album, let's listen to it. I do also understand, like, I enjoy music less in harsh sunlight. I think it's because, like, I'm processing too much information from my eyes, and, like, I can't focus on what's coming in my ears. So, like, I tend to think albums are shittier when there's harsh sunlight.
There's something,
and I legitimately worry anytime I play new music for someone in the daytime, because I'm like, they're not going to enjoy it. It's too chaotic.
There's too much happening.
There's too much happening in the music, and there's too much happening with your eyes, so you're not going to enjoy it at all. I think about that, especially with Conrad. I'm just like, it's not going to be good. And if I have to play it too quiet, because, like, a lot of the times, like, it doesn't sound right unless you blast. Same thing with some of those poppy songs. I was kind of like, I'm not really in the mood to blast this right now, but I bet if I blasted it, I would enjoy it a lot more.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of fun if it's really loud.
Come out. And I'm never sure how much to blast music while you're in the car, if it's going to bother you or not.
I guess it depends on what we're doing.
Yeah, because most of the time it's like, it's the middle of the day, we're like, going from point A to point B, and it doesn't really feel like it would be appropriate, you know? It doesn't feel like it would be fun to blast music.
I mean, normally when I'm in the car driving alone, my music is just all the way up.
God.
Like, well, you gotta realize also my car has, like, fucking shit-tier
is
speakers.
Different, but yeah, I have heard it blasting, coming back. But I tend to feel like when you blast music alone, it sounds really good, and when you blast music with other people in the car, it doesn't sound as good.
You just get really you get worried.
First you get self-conscious, and then also I just feel like it doesn't sound as good for some reason.
The acoustics are bouncing off too many another body and fucking with you.
I legitimately think that's what it is, and that is a thing.
The sound waves are literally being, like, interrupted by the other human in the room.
I put a lot of thought into other people's enjoyment of my music while they're in the car, because it means a lot to me. Because I want other people to appreciate things the same way that I do, and I wonder, like, if they're hearing it differently at a given time, you know? Is your experience of this song at this time sounding different than mine because you have a headache or something, you know? I think that can dramatically change the enjoyment of it, depending on, like, your headspace and your brain chemistry and, like, what's going on with you, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's totally...
Like, if you're busy thinking about something, you know, you've got something big on your mind, then, like, you're not going to be paying attention to the music as much, and then you're not going to enjoy it as much, you know? And then your first impression of the music will be, well, you know, I wasn't paying attention, it sounded kind of, it was too loud, and so, it was shitty, you know? Versus what I want it to be, which is, I was completely immersed in this, and it was amazing. Man, I really just drifted off. That's why, like, getting high and listening to Crumbling Castle was the greatest experience ever. Because I was like, yeah, everyone's just fucking watching this video and getting the full experience here.
That was some crazy shit, though.
Yes. You enjoyed it, though, right? That was fucking great.
It was a singular experience in my life.
Yeah.
Certainly nothing else has been like that.
It was a fucking trip. I think that was probably the perfect way to enjoy that song. Was fucking getting our minds blown by the video and be like, ugh, ugh, holy shit.
Pretty intense.
Oh, the colors. God, anyone who's seizure prone, do not watch the music video for Crumbling Castle. It'll annihilate you.
Yeah, you'll die.
It is literally flashing red and green, which is the seizure shit. Oh, fuck, I don't have any arrows. I have one ice arrow. This is a super cool room if you take an approach to, like, killing everyone. Because, like, they all have these lightning arrows, which, especially in the rain, like, when they hit water, they have an AoE effect and will hit you all over the place, so you have to, like, calculate the best way to take them out in order. It's great if you don't have any resources. If you have a bunch of arrows when you come here, it's probably not any fun, because you can just pick them all off with your arrows. But if you don't have any arrows, then you have to find the best way to do it without getting shot by every other dude. Which is super fun. I had done it one time where, like, I was having a super fucking hard time, and so I had to, like, perfectly execute, like,
the one arrow I had to kill one guy and then like run off and kill another dude and like do it all in the perfect order to like pick up their arrows and then keep going. There we go. Did I get any arrows? Give me some fucking arrows. No!
Oh!
See that shit.
Got him.
That's that good shit. Oh!
Fuck, boy.
Yeah, this is gonna take a minute.
Shit.
Anyways.
That's hardcore.
Good rant about music. I'm sorry.
I'm just
Love
beaming
you.
on you. Oh wow, we
Love
went
you.
long.
I don't like the idea that I'm offending you.
I
don't want you to feel like that obnoxious girl from the newsroom who's all, you think I'm stupid. You don't think I'm smart enough for you. It was just like, oh, come on, man. Like, why the fuck would I think that? Why would I think that you have inferior taste in music because your music is less dense than mine?
Victor's music superiority complex.
Yep, I have a music superiority complex, definitely. I don't know, Hope, I might just have to leave you because you're just not smart enough. You don't listen to good music.
I don't know, Victor. I might have to leave you because you're illiterate.
Because I'm a jackass?
That's not what illiterate
That
means.
is true. See, I'm illiterate, you know, you're musically illiterate.
I'm musically illiterate. That is true. I can't read music.
Yeah, I can't read music either. Anyways, that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next one. I really hope this doesn't get taken down for copyright for playing so much YouTube.
Oh, God.